Hi, thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of Shift Happens. Today we're talking to Kate, who is a women's life coach. Oh, hi. Hello, Kate.
Welcome,
Thanks so
Kate.
much
Hello.
for joining us. So tell us a little bit about what you do.
So I work with women and support them through moving through transitions in their life. I'm working through a new coaching program at the moment, which takes women through the different seasonal journeys that we go on, from wondering where we are in our life, knowing there's more, but not quite knowing what that is, to listening to all of the different voices and noises around us and going, I don't know which one to listen to.
Oh, yeah.
To the season of, I know exactly what I want, I'm just really scared. And then the other one is, I've made the leap and I've jumped and I've done it. How do I keep this going? So the different seasons in our lives, that's how I work with women.
I love that. The different seasons in your life. Mm-hmm. That's awesome, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that came from my own background and recognising the different seasons that I've been through throughout my life. And it's hard sometimes to recognise what I need right now. There's different ways of working within the season that you're in. So we've all been through moments in our life where we've sort of gone, something needs to change, but I don't know what that is. Something needs to be different. So many people are telling me what I should be doing.
Yeah.
But maybe that's not what I want to be doing.
Absolutely.
But it's the shoulds. And then, you know, we absolutely know the direction we want to go in, but I'm so scared to actually take that step or that leap or change and do something differently. And then that part of you that's done it all and then goes, oh my God, how do I keep this going? How do I not just go back to how it was before? And I've been there. I recognise those different stages and I want other women to be able to do that too. And I can help them through those patterns.
I think there's nothing more empowering and powerful than sharing your success, your empowerment with other people and teaching something that you know from the depths of your soul because you've been there. Mm-hmm. You know, you've got the t-shirt, you've cried the tears, you've pushed through the fears. Mm-hmm. So tell me a little bit about your seasons.
Okay.
Yeah, and the seasons that you've been through in your life.
Yes. So I'm 41 now.
And you don't look.
Oh, thank you very much.
At all.
No, I'm
25.
Yeah, thanks, Kerry. I'm coming to this podcast. So I'm 41 now. And when I sort of look back on my life journey, I think it probably started at 17, because that's when I had my daughter. And that was the first real huge change in my life.
Gosh,
at
17.
Such a young age, at such a young age, I became responsible for somebody. And I'm not sure at 17 you're even responsible for yourself at that point. So it was a huge challenge. And as I then brought up my daughter, then other challenges came my way. So in a vein of wanting to give my daughter more than, what I would say a normal 17-year-old would want to give them. I wanted her to have a family and a father and a roof over her head. So that was sort of the mission at the time, and made choices that I thought were the right ones then, but then looking back, realise actually I was just enough on my own for her, and that was okay. And because of those choices, I sort of found myself in two violent relationships, and had to move through the fear to leave those relationships and move to a women's refuge. So we were homeless for a period of time, but refused to give up. And I was just like, right, I've got to get her out of this. I need to find our place in the world. And knew I wanted to buy a house. So we rented a 1-bedroom flat for a period of time, and my daughter had the bedroom and I had the lounge, which became my bedroom. It was the kitchen, it was the dining room, and everything all in one. But we were genuinely really happy in that little flat. And I was able to save up enough money to buy our first house together. And during that time, I started building up my career in leadership. And all of that really helped me to believe in myself. And I think the power of manifestation is really showed up for me at that point, because I read a book called The Secret.
Yeah.
And that really made me look at the world differently and actually take responsibility for the choices I'd made in life. Because they were my choices, and I'm happy with those choices because they made me who I am now and the strong woman that I became being a mum.
It's incredible. What an incredible story. So do you mind if I kind of backtrack just slightly? Yeah. So that first stage then, that first season, let's call it, will be when, would you say, when you were in a violent relationships, because to hear about that actually breaks my heart that so many women just keep going back to that.
Yeah.
Because they just feel so worthless, and they're so downtrodden almost.
Yeah.
And, I think it's very easy for people to say, well, just leave. Well, if it was that easy, people would just leave.
Just leave, yeah.
And so kind of what do you feel about that? What's
really, I'm quite passionate about that sentence, just leave.
Yeah.
Because it's what people say, because they feel like they're doing the right thing, and it's, they're just, I don't understand. Why don't you just leave?
Yeah.
But nobody understands what it's actually like to be in that situation, because you've lost so much courage and confidence and self that you just don't think you can. And I really had to build that up. And it probably, from the moment of knowing I wanted to leave to leaving, it probably took me about 12 months.
Yeah.
Because I had to do a lot of research to know, well, where do I even go? Because I need somewhere to go. If I leave, where do I actually end up? So I knew I needed my passport. I knew I needed, various things. And it just so happened that we'd come back from holiday, and all the suitcases were still packed. So I was like, this might be a good time.
Opportunity.
So everything was still packed from holiday. And he'd gone to the shop, and I put the suitcases in the car, and made sure I got my passport. And then he went to pull the bin round, and we had like a side passage. And as he did that, I jumped in the car and drove off. And I don't know if you know Bar Beacon, but anyway, I drove to the top of Bar Beacon. It's a big yelling great bar.
Yeah.
And I got out of the car and I screamed and screamed and screamed because I knew I wasn't going to go back.
Oh, wow. That's made me feel really emotional.
Me, do you know, I could actually feel you getting in that car. I could feel my heart going, thinking, start, like something on a movie where you're like,
I still have that when I think of it. It's a desperate feeling of getting there.
So how did you then feel after that point?
So it was, I knew, because I had tried to leave before and gone back, because I hadn't done enough planning, and I think I didn't know where I was going to stay. I didn't know where to go, so I ended up going back. But this time I knew it all. I knew where we were going to be going.
Yeah.
So that's how I managed that, just to know I wasn't going back. And I think that's why I went to Barbeak and just to let it all out, because I was just like, oh, I've done it.
How old was your daughter?
She was 6, and thankfully, so this relationship, this wasn't her dad, and she was at her dad's that weekend. So I did all of this without her having to be in that moment.
Yeah.
And then when I went and picked her up, I explained what was now happening. So So
let's put a name again to that first season.
Yeah.
What is that? So what do you teach alongside that?
At that when you get to that point, that's the she rises.
Yeah.
That's that I know what I need to do. I'm just scared to do it. And that's where the coach, comes in and says, okay, let's get this action. Before that, we need clarity. So the awaken the wild within is the first season. And that is, I know something needs to change, but I don't know what it is. And if I was to look at that particular situation, I knew I should not be in this relationship, but I don't know what new looks like. I wouldn't even know where to start. I know something needs to be different. I just don't know what. So what I'd realised from leaving previously and then going back, I knew I needed to leave, but I didn't have the plan.
Yes.
Whereas now, in this particular situation, I'd got the plan. and I just needed to execute it. And it was scary as hell.
Yeah. You did. We felt that.
Yeah. I really felt that.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time is when you actually do the action and do it, it feels better. Everything's lighter because you've just done it. A lot of the tension, anxiety is the build up to, I know I need to do this thing, but I don't know how to do it or when to do it. I'm scared of doing it. As soon as you do it, it's like this whole weight's lifted. And that's, we know, you know, with small, tiny things to huge, great things. And I guess when I talk about my sound baths, I don't know if that was something you were going to bring up, but when I started delivering my sound baths, it was, whilst completely different situation, actually the feelings are very similar. It's the courage and the bravery to go, I'm going to stop talking about doing sound baths and I'm going to start doing sound baths. And even that very first sound bath, I was nervous, I was scared, but I was like, as soon as that one's done, I'll be all right.
Yeah.
What do you think, going back to the situation where you were in that relationship dynamic, why do you think a lot of women stay stuck in certain relationship dynamics that they can't leave?
We all like consistency. We all like a routine. We know where we are with it. And the sort of, no matter what that routine is, whether it is waiting for somebody to come home and knowing for a fact that I know what they're probably going to be like, but at least I expect it and I know what's coming, is a comfortable place for people to be. Even if it's a bad situation or a good situation, it's routine, it's comfortable, it's habit. So what our brain then says, I know this isn't good for me, but actually changing that, I don't know how that works. It's out of routine. It's different and I don't want different. Actually, I'm quite comfortable with this, even though it's not good, you know, and you can look at lots of things in life like that. You know, if people want, you know, somebody might want to diet to lose weight because they know that their habits of eating habits, smoking habits, drinking habits aren't good for them. But trying to change that habit or that routine or that program that we've built inside our brains, it's hard, it's difficult, and we don't always want different. Some people don't want to leave relationships that are violent. They just don't want to because they know it, they understand it.
Better the devil you know.
I just recall, because obviously listening to you, I think about situations that I've been in, and you know, I've been in a relationship that probably was classed as a toxic relationship, and I think you normalise a lot of things around you that you think it's normal, and I think you're right about the feeling comfortable. And the plan is so important, I think.
Yeah. I think you know where you are. You know, the thought of the unknown can be more scary than actually the known.
Yeah.
That's the key thing, isn't it? And you can apply it, like you say, to every aspect of life. It's how many people spend years and years and years in a job that makes them desperately unhappy. What a waste of our precious life.
Yeah.
But people do it because they're afraid.
Yeah,
you know, it's fear, isn't it? Fear just keeps us in this place. It makes our world really small.
So it's having that action plan, and the support, and
the plan makes, even now, you know, anything I think of now, if I have a plan, I instantly feel more confident about the action that I need to take. And you know, I talk about the sound baths, and as soon as I started my training, I knew where I was going to hold them, because I'd already sort of found the place a few years ago and imagined myself in that setting delivering sound baths. I just wasn't on that journey yet, but I knew where I was going to deliver them. And actually then, once I'd started my training, I was like, right, now I make a plan. So I know the place. I need to find out who I speak to. I need to set a date. And the date is generally, for me, when I set a plan, is a month in advance of when I'm planning it, and I know I'm going to do it in a month, because 4 weeks is a happy time for me to get things ready. I'm not good if I've only got a week. But, you know, I know, give me a month and I'll be ready. because I'll have everything planned out.
I need a week.
No,
I respond under pressure, me.
No.
Okay, so I'm really interested in these seasons.
Okay.
So now you're at the Women's Refuge.
Yes.
So you're in season...
So we've gone from Awaken the Wild Within, which is, I know something needs to change. I'm not sure what or even how, but something needs to change. Yeah. She Rises is, I know exactly what it is that I want to be doing or the way I want my life to be.
Yeah.
I just need to put the action in. I'm just scared right now. And then from She Rises, you go into Where the Wild Woman Grows.
Wow.
So that is for, you've done the action, you're in the space, you're there, and now you're going, how do I keep this going?
Now you're going, fuck.
Yes.
What do I do?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
What do I do now, basically?
So I put a plan in to do the thing, but now it's consistency.
Yes.
It's keeping that going.
Yeah. And how do you kind of motivate people to keep that going? Because I know I swore then, sorry, but you know, if there's anyone that's going to swear, it's going to be me. So I'll just do it.
I might do some swearing.
But you know, that's how you feel, isn't it? You do all of this because you're running on adrenaline, and then all of a sudden you've done it, and now you think, okay, so what do I do now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, what happens now? So how do you kind of motivate people through that, and so that they don't go back to what they know?
So that's the season, which it's the consistency of not just being in your world, but having the support around you to remind you why we're doing what we're doing. And then having that weekly coaching session as well, because it keeps the motivation going. Reminding ourselves, why did we do that? Why did we make that change in the first place? And it's really grounding into what is it you want? Why did you make that change? What is it you envision? So you will use vision boards, and you will talk about visualization exercises, because you can really lose. That's when your motivation needs to be strong, and the accountability is there from your coach.
Yeah.
That last season, because the way I think about my seasons is over a 12-month period. It doesn't have to be. It's just how I've sort of brought it into the world. So each one is 3 months long. So you've Awaken the Wild Within, Beneath the Noise, She Rises, and Where the Wild Woman Grows. When you get to that final, you've gone through this journey from the very beginning. Let's say that's January when you first begin. You're now into winter, and it's like, right, I need to hunker down now. I need to grow into who I'm becoming and who this version of me really is. And it is that motivation to keep going, keep reminding myself why I did it.
Yeah.
Wow. It's really amazing. Really, really, how you've kind of done all the seasons. I think it's really lovely.
Oh, thank
you.
No,
it is. It's really nice. It's really nice.
I think it's personal experience. It's my experience that I'm trying to put out into the world to say, I've been there. So many other people are there in one of these different spaces, and can feel lost. We're not lost. We feel lost.
Yeah.
And it's just, what's this version of me now? And we get, you know what, you get that at any time in life. You have children, and then your children leave home, and it's like, oh, hang on a minute. And for me, I was a mum from 17. I didn't know how else to be. Yeah. So then when Megan, my daughter, left home, it was like, oh, okay, I've done all of this for you to create this life for you, and now I'm like, oh, now I've got to do it for me.
I know.
That's bizarre.
That's such a big thing, for women especially, because and I'm not saying it's just women, because there are lots of men out there that do things. So I'm not but I think generally women do tend to be the nurturers in a family, or and have the children. And I think they sacrifice so much. I think they're naturally more nurturing, and sacrifice so much of their life, and then all of a sudden get to a point where they think, well, who am I? And that there is a really common point, isn't it? It's when everyone leaves the nest and all they've ever been is a mum, and it's like,
And lots of the clients that I work with are at that moment of you know, they may have worked part-time because they were bringing their children up, or they may not have worked at all because they were bringing and then it's like, oh, okay, I'm not bringing the children up anymore. Where do I go? And that's the awaken the wild within, because it's like, okay, I'm not a mom anymore as such, as in I'm not nurturing them and bringing them up, but I know something needs to be different now, and I don't know what. And that's where we sort of go, okay, so you're sensing that there's another version of you, a new version of you. Let's explore that. What does that look like?
Yeah. Because people forget, don't they? I love that wake in the wild woman within. It makes me think of people just dancing. And do you know how I mean? Just being wild and being like that child again. You know, just getting in touch with that part of you. It is exciting. It makes me feel excited. So how does it make you feel to support these women through this journey?
It's incredible. So we talked about I'm a life coach, and that's the core of what I do. The sound baths do the same. You know, it's that helping people, women, to discover who they are. And it's like, why would you want to do anything else? For me anyway, you know, supporting women to just grab hold of their confidence and their ability to just do anything. And I'm a real believer that we can do anything. Life is choices.
Absolutely.
It's a mountain of choices. We have choices every single day. We choose to get up. We choose to clean our teeth. We choose to go to work. We choose where we work. We choose the work. And sometimes we have to step back from what we thought was the work we wanted to do, to go, that doesn't feel like my value anymore. It doesn't feel like my passion. What is it? And sometimes we have to make some really big life choices to be able to get to the passion and the thing we really want to do. I left leadership last year in my senior manager role. I sold my house. I mean, me and my husband separated a year before that. But we sold the house. I live in a totally different place now. I wanted to live in an apartment because it was so much cheaper, so that I could set up my business. I had to change my world to get to where I wanted to be. And that's difficult for me. It's a challenge for people, and it's hard. And for people to make those choices, it's a big choice. But we have choices. And if I want something different in my life, then I need to make choices to get there.
Yeah.
So to be able to help women have the confidence to make big choices that could change their life, and to see them do it and to see them grow and become empowered, that's why I do what I do. That's how it makes me feel.
I can see that it makes you feel like...
Yeah, you really light up.
Yeah, lovely.
So for any women that are listening to you right now, that sat on the sofa or doing the ironing, and they're listening to this podcast, what wisdom could you offer women that are perhaps, you know, thinking, I'm stuck and I want to make some changes? Just some kind of wisdom to kind of really plant a seed in their mind if they're listening right now.
Find clarity. I think that is the first step. Ask yourself questions. Ask yourself questions to
self-inquiry.
Yeah. And journal those answers as well. Putting it down on paper really helps. But the type of questions to ask yourself is, what is important to me? You know, if they're sitting on the sofa and they're ironing, you know, things like that, is that what's important to you? Because if it is, then they're living the life that they want. But equally, if the answers to these questions are a different way of being, you know, or a different way of doing things, a different belief that they might have that they've not explored, explore it, understand it. You know, lots of women that I speak to, particularly ones that come to sound baths, have a spiritual side to them that they've never explored or not really talked about, because some people don't think it fits in the world. And actually, if it fits in for you, explore it. It doesn't matter about the rest of the world. If you want to start a business, explore that subject. explore, become familiar with it. And then I think once you've got your clarity, that's where you decide about the action. And don't take the action until you have a plan, because the action won't stick. You need a plan. However loose or rigid it is, plan it out, find your clarity, understand what you want in life, and start formulating a plan to get there.
I can see all the women now with their ironing going, I'm not doing my ironing anymore, and like throwing their iron down on the floor. So I don't know why I use that example.
No,
to be honest.
We don't really iron either.
No.
I don't think I iron actually. So no.
Mind you, that's not true. There are some things I have to iron, but it's not something that.
Yeah.
Maybe I just want all these women
pair of linen trousers.
Come on, girls.
Yeah. and I think for anyone, I just believe anyone can do anything.
Yeah, I believe that as well. I 100%
There's a plan for everything.
Yeah,
it's just finding
and it's never too late.
No,
ever too late.
No.
Kate, I love you're so how you put things across and the simplicity of it all. I really love that kind of manner that you put across. And I think I can feel that any women perhaps come to you that, because we do complicate things. Yeah. We make it so much worse in our head.
Yeah.
But it's almost like, in your presence, it's like I can breathe. Kate's arrived and
Kerry, that's lovely.
We're going to work through this plan, and I think anyone listening, take a breath and it's lovely. You've got great energy.
For what you just said there about it being simple, in my mind, it's a choice. It simply is a choice.
Yeah.
And we do overcomplicate it. But what if this and what if that and what if this and we can plan for the worst. But how often does the worst actually ever happen for us? And if it does, there's always an answer. There's always an answer
there is.
to overcome it.
Well, it's that, what if I fall, but what if you fly?
Yeah. That's one of my daughter's favourite quotes.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Is it Winnie the Pooh?
Peter Pan.
Peter Pan.
What?
I think it was Winnie the Pooh.
I don't know. Is
He had some quotes.
Yeah, he did, didn't he?
Some good quotes. Yeah.
Do you know them?
No.
There's lots of them with Piglet. I can't
I can't think of any. We'll all think of them as soon as we finish.
Oh, that was it.
Them.
Yeah. I do like a cheeky quote.
Yeah.
Can't beat a cheeky quote. So what's Kate's vision then? So you've set up this lovely people to come and see you, with the seasons. I mean, what's your vision? Where do you want to take this? What's the next plan?
So, what's the next plan? So I'm in the process of launching this at the moment. So on the 8th of September, I'm going to release the assessment. So it's for the Wild Woman is the journey, and it's the Wild Woman assessment. And you answer a series of questions and it'll tell you which season you're in and what that means for you to be in that season.
Oh, I love that.
And then once you know which season that you're in, I'll send you the coaching plan for that season and how it works and that coaching program. And from that, obviously, we'll work together and get to where it is that woman wants to be. That's the launch that I'm going through for September. And then after that, I want to take it as far as it can go. Yeah. I want to work with women around the world with it, because just to empower women to be able to make the choices that they want to make and know that they can achieve everything that they want in life, and they can, and I'll support them. I just want to help people. If I'm honest, that's what I want to do. I want to help people become the thing that they can become.
And I think you will.
Oh, thank you.
I really do. And I think because I believe that the intention is everything. The intention behind it, where it's coming from, is everything. So where do your sound baths fit into all of this? Because you obviously do sound healing, which we've experienced.
You have.
Beautiful.
Yes, thank you. So a few years ago, I discovered sound baths and attended one, probably once a month I'd go. And the power of the healing of the sound bath. I have cried in sound baths. I have found clarity. I have created things in my mind whilst I've been in a sound bath. And I just felt that how closely knitted to coaching that was for the healing, for the creativity, for clarity, equally for action. You know, I've walked out of a sound bath going, I can do this. I can do it. And the belief that it gave me, I just thought it was so close to what I believe in and helped me through things that I wanted to be able to give that for others and help other people through that using sound baths. So that's where I was like, this is for me. Yeah. So the first thing I did when I left work at the end of September last year was book my training for sound baths
to go and do. Yeah. So why does sound help people? You know,
so the therapeutic properties of the sound therapies from the frequency of the sound and the different instruments that we use. So the Himalayan bowls are quite a deep sound when I use the large bowls. The crystal bowls are spacious, so allow you the space to open your mind. And the gong I use to really help release the tension. The gong is wonderful.
She loves the gong.
I do love the gong.
She likes a good gong.
Yeah. I could just have a gong bar for me. Nothing else. I just love them. Whereas some people don't like them.
No, it's everybody's and that's the thing with sound baths. Everybody is so different of how they take in the sound and what that allows them to release. People have been to my sound baths and said that they've slept so well for like that week where they've had that sound bath where normally they wouldn't. There was a lady the other week who has ADHD and she struggles to switch her mind off. Yeah. It was the first time that she'd ever lay somewhere for sort of 50 minutes and didn't have thoughts. And for her ADHD mind, it just quieted everything for her. Quietened everything for her. So why do I do it? For all of those reasons. You know, for people to come have 60 minutes where thoughts aren't racing and mind is quiet and lots of healing is happening whilst I'm lay there for 50 minutes taking that sound in that space.
Well, for anyone who's not had one, oh my God, I recommend them. I really do. They're fab, aren't they?
Oh,
fab.
yeah.
Is there a part of them that you prefer? What I'm angling for is for you to tell me that you like the gongs.
Oh, is that what you're after?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
What do you like best in them, actually?
I don't know. I think I like all of them, really. Yeah. I like the singing bowls and but I do. Yeah, I like the gongs. So, yeah.
Do you have the
the rain? I have a rain stick, so you can have an ocean drum, which is that's lovely. Yeah. I use the rain stick in mine.
Yeah. Wow. Fabulous.
Why do you think so many women out there are feeling unempowered?
Oh, that's a good question, Kerry.
Throw that out there. There you go, Kate. Answer that.
Take time.
Everyone's sat forward now. Like, yes. Why?
I think it's society from where we've come from. I mean, a really good example. So I went to Glastonbury this year, and Alanis Morissette was singing, and I can't remember which song it was, but she had images in the background about women and how different women are treated in the world, even now, about how less pay we get, how we're looked upon from a society of what rights we have. Even now, in the world that we live in now, all of these, and I was reading, rather than even listening to the song, I was reading what was behind her, and I was with my friend, and I was like, I can't believe that, even now. And she was the same. And I think women don't feel as empowered just because that's where we've been. We're still going through that same battle now to, you know, when I look at leadership, all of the leaders on the level above me were men. In that area that I worked in, there were women leaders at that level in other areas, but I was very operational, and that was all men. And the women would say it's boys' club at that level, because we tell ourselves we can't do it a lot of the time because we see men doing those roles. I want to change that, and along with lots of other women, want to change that we are as valuable, if not more valuable, because of the life lessons that we've had compared to men.
Yeah,
we're totally different. I did I wanted to try a new way of eating and living in regards to eating for your hormones.
Yeah.
And that was Dr. Mindy Phelps. She talks about how when we're fasting, actually the way that the world has put the fasting out there is in a men's way. So you do the same every day. Whereas actually we should fast based on our cycles and how our hormones are showing up in our body during our cycle. So you shouldn't fast when you're on your period, because actually you're losing all of these hormones.
I've read this.
So don't fast during that period.
Yeah.
Whereas men, it doesn't make a difference. They produce testosterone every 15 minutes. We have a very short window within our cycle where we produce testosterone. And the other hormones that we're producing, actually we need to nurture them and not try and force a routine on them that's not for us, that's not been built for us.
Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? I think that's the lady that Donna does a lot of. It is, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah.
Who was that again? So that's
Dr. Mindy Phelps.
Mindy Phelps.
Yeah.
I think it might be, actually. Yeah.
Sure it is, I'm sure.
It just made sense. And as I did I called it an experiment because I wanted to see how I felt whilst I was doing it. And I felt so much better not trying to force a workout routine that isn't right for me where I was in my cycle.
Your cycle.
Yeah.
Yeah, because some exercise can actually make your hormones worse. So I'm actually... It's weird that you're saying this because I'm going through this at the moment. I've rejigged my diet because obviously, coming into my mid-40s, everything's changing and what I did before is not suiting my body. So when I used to be like absolutely going for it, I need to take it down a little bit. So it's quite fascinating. That's another podcast.
Well,
yeah.
I'm going through the perimenopause, which means I want to kill everyone all the time. So
she hasn't killed me yet.
Not yet. No.
No.
Exactly.
Kate, do you work with men?
Yes.
You do?
Yeah. So I do leadership development as well. So I'll, because of my senior management experience, and I worked in learning and development, training development, talent development, I was a coach within my organisation. So I would coach people, but I also managed coaches as well. And that experience, I love leadership. And what I love about leadership is doing it well. And if you do it well, your team will just be on fire. Yeah. And you as a leader aren't task driven. You're leadership driven. If you understand your people will work for you and they will work really well.
I love this.
Yeah. And that's where I work with men as well as women in the leadership space. So helping leaders understand people will help their people perform better. Yeah. And it really is. And again, it's simple. If you know your people, they will respect you for that and want to work for you.
I'm so passionate about this because I've worked in the corporate industry and they don't look after the people. If you don't look after your people, I'm not saying every corporate industry, but it's so old out there. Even the big companies, they micromanage and, and you have to look after your people it's all about the people.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Yeah. But you do you've got an air about you of that leadership.
And that is the corporate experience.
Yes.
Again, what I learned through corporate experience is it doesn't matter what I know. It matters what my guys know.
Yeah.
And I don't need to know everything. My guys know it. I just need to know my guys. And if they if they're telling me something's broken, well, let's go and fix it. You tell me what's broken. Let's understand it and let's put a solution together to go and fix it. I don't need to know everything about everything. That's what they're for. And I'll help them open the doorway to fixing problems.
Do you go into corporate places still? You work?
Yeah. So I work with a couple of organisations where I do one-to-one coaching, but also workshop delivery as well.
So if there's any corporate places listening, you need to hire Kate to improve your management skills to look after your people.
And I do really enjoy that. I love it.
I wish I did a camera look.
I did a camera. I really enjoy that. I've loved it.
So how do people find you?
So I'm pretty good on socials. So I'm under the Coaching Retreat on Facebook, Instagram. I have got a LinkedIn Coaching Retreat, but also Kate Evans on LinkedIn is where I'll post a lot of what I'm doing. And then my website, which is www.thecoachingretreat.com. So
we'll put everything in the description box.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, but no, it's been a real pleasure to hear everything about you do. What's that? That's a blunder, isn't it?
Yeah, stick that on the end. And I think just from me, I am on social media quite a lot, emails as well. And if anybody needs anything, just reach out. I'll always talk to people and help them any way I can. Aside from, the coaching programs and the leadership stuff, if they just need a chat.
So as Jerry Springer, he always finishes off with a final word. So what final word would you like to finish off? Look into the camera and wisdom that you want to say.
So my final word is you can achieve anything in life that you want. It's a choice. Make the choice, put a plan in place and go and do it.
Yay! Brilliant.
Thank you so
much, Kate.
Thanks.
That's a wrap. Can I just say that we've had some Shift Happens mugs. We have mugs. Oh my God, I'm so excited about these mugs. If you want a mug, please let me know. I'm so excited. Thank you so much for watching Kate today. It's been such a pleasure to talk to Kate. So what I want to ask to you and put to everyone that's listening, where do you need to put a plan in place for yourself? Sit down, take a moment and ask yourself some questions, self-inquiry, where do I need to make some changes? And have a think about putting a plan in place for yourself. Thank you.